What is going on, Team Acne friends and family? Welcome back to another video. Today, I want to review the highest viewed video I have ever made in my entire life, and it specifically is an acne video. And I think this one has a lot of good stuff that I can show you in the video in case you haven't seen the video already. Now, I do want to say, for those of you who are waiting for my skincare routine, I know I keep saying it's next, but I swear you will not see another video on this channel until that one is up, and it will be up in the next about a week or so. So I'm really excited about that. And also, I want to mention what you're seeing behind me right now is the beginning of this video. For some reason, I for about a minute and a half blabbered about how me and my friends went bowling, blah, 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 blah. So this video is titled, Don't Touch Your Acne and See What Happens. And so basically I just had a pimple pop up on my face and I said, this is perfect. For the next 7 days, I'm gonna record it every single day so you can see how it changes, but I'm gonna make sure I do not touch it. Let's just jump into the video and I'll kind of leave my little reactions and my little add-ons. We finally had the opportunity to actually do this. So what I have done is I've filmed the timeline of my zit coming up and turning into a whitehead all the way through its whole process of going away when I'm not touching it. I always preach that you should not touch a cyst or a zit or any sort of a whitehead because it will make it worse. First off, are you guys admiring that haircut? It's so much shorter than now. Also, I'm right at the window, so that is sunlight through a window is by far the best way to have like smooth face lighting. If you pop it, if you play with it, it's going to make it worse by inflaming it. It's going to last longer. It's going to spread it out so more will be able to pop up. For someone who's like me, when I get zits or I get cysts, they stick around forever. On average, they'll stick around for at least a week, but usually it's about 2 weeks, and then the bigger, more gnarly ones are 3 or 4 weeks. But if I That's the truth. How long do your zits last? I'm curious, because some people say, I get them, they go away overnight, I get them, I pop them, they're gone or whatever, and I'm completely in a different camp because my pimples have never gone away quickly, especially cysts. They always stick around for a really long time. I've had cysts, honestly, I've had cysts that have lasted for over 6 months. I had one specifically right here on the tip of my cheekbone, so there was extra pressure there. That one stayed forever. I also had one right on the, as like my right eyebrow, but right in the middle of them, but more towards my right eyebrow, and I was stuck around for like, I think almost a year. And I had one right there, and that one stuck around for about 6 months as well. Touch them, that number doubles. And I'm not even kidding you, I've done this a million times, and it doubles if I mess with them at all. So I had 2 whiteheads pop up on my cheek over here, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity. Now we're gonna go through the timeline, and I'm gonna break it down day by day to see how the pimple kind of evolves when you don't touch it. Yeah, shut up, and let's get into it. Okay, so day one.
Round 0. Looks like we have 2 whiteheads. One is a little bit more severe, the one that is a little bit yellow, so that's one we're going to be focusing on, but it looks like we have 2 buddies to focus on for this little experiment.
I was so stoked when that popped up. Depending on how big, because I really wanted to do this video, but I was just waiting for a right one to pop up, and I wanted one that had a big whitehead too, not a little red one.
How big the zit or cyst is, it starts to form a scab. So I started having a little bit of a scab here. Now this is when you really got to test yourself because you should not pick at it. If you do, it's going to make it way worse. But wait for day 3. That's when it's really, really tough not to touch it. So everything under the surface of the zit is starting to harden up and form. If I popped it or tried to pull it out right now, I'd probably get a strong core in the center of it, but it'd also leave a huge hole. It'd be bleeding a little bit, and it would definitely cause it to break out more and fill back up. So we still got to hold on and not touch this. But it is starting to harden up, which is what we want, and is what's going to make this zit disappear as fast as possible with the least amount of markings as possible. Okay, so day 4 comes around, and this is actually a pretty fast progression. Look, the hard parts, the scabs have already come out, and this is not.
So that's pretty crazy. By day 3, my pimple had gotten to its apex, its worst, and so it had gotten a really scabby kind of hard covering on the outside, and that is usually when you want to pick it off, when you want to pick it off, not when you should, because then it is still kind of like rooted in there, and when you rip it off, it's gonna bleed a bit and it's gonna irritate it, and sometimes it'll come back. So it's a test of willpower right there to stick for the next day, and then this is what happens.
It's not something that I've done. I haven't pressed on them, pulled on them, or anything like that. They've just naturally fallen out either while I was sleeping or when I was in the shower. And that's the way you want it to happen. You want them to get so hard and so ready that they just come out on their own without any of your provocations. The only reason that there's just a pink spot there instead of another zit fueling up for more is because you didn't push on it, you didn't press on it, and you didn't inflame it at all. Imagine the last time you had a decent sized cyst or zit and you tried to press it out, you tried to drain it, you tried to pinch it, you tried to get the goo out, whatever it is, and imagine how it was looking at 5 days since it came up. It was probably looking a lot more angry and irritated than this. I'm telling you guys, this method works. Day 6 comes around and all we're left with is the ever so slightly discolored spot from where the zit first came up. You're probably wondering if I've done anything specific with products, if I've used any sort of specific cleanser or anything like that. I've used absolutely nothing but cold water this entire time. And that brings us to today, day 7 of the experiment, and we are looking great. Let's not judge my patchy beard shaving job here because I just did it 5 seconds before I filmed this clip and I didn't really check for the hairs, but I just wanted to show you how it is looking now. You can barely even tell that spot from any other spot on my face.
Can you tell that a lot of people talk crap in the comments, so I just address it beforehand. I'm like, don't talk about my patchy beard. But by day 5, it literally was almost all the way gone. Day 6 and 7 just improve even more with the discoloration. But I think it's just mainly just proving my point that for me, especially, this technique has worked so well, and I've had bazillion comments of people saying the same thing. It works really well for them. I've also had a lot of people be like, this would never work for me, and my pimple gets worse when that happens. But I honestly think that those people who say that, not every one of them, but I think a large portion of them have never actually tried for 7 days not to touch it. I think that they tried a really long time, but maybe they tried like half a day or a day and then they were like scraping on it.
It's super simple, super proven, super awesome strategy. Try it out yourself and actually stick to it. I know it's hard, but you gotta give it the full try.
So there you have it, folks. That is what happens with my face when I have a pimple pop up and so there we go. I don't think we need to watch the rest of it because I'm just gonna say the same thing I'm saying right now, but I think you should go back and watch the video if you want to on its own, but my point stands. If you put pressure on a cyst, especially, and even a pimple, but especially a cyst, there's a pocket of sebum fluid under the skin. That's all the white goo, right? And if you push on it, right, there's no guarantee that you're going to have it all come out the top. If you push on it and all of it is this thin little balloon, you might rupture it from the bottom. You know when you press super hard and you're like, I don't know why it hasn't popped yet. And you're like, I'm just gonna commit and push as hard as I can. Don't lie, I know you've done that, because I've done that too when I was younger. And you just try as hard as you can and it still doesn't pop out the top. Well, guess what? It popped out the bottom. I guarantee it. And that's usually also when it triples in size, right? And the last thing I wanted to do, just for fun, because I love reading the comments. I'm gonna read like the top 3 comments. Okay, so the number 1 comment is, this takes too much willpower and has 4,500 likes. It's a lot of people that also agree with this person. Second one is, he looks 26 and 62 at the same time. And then some other people responded and were like, and also 7 at the same time. I don't understand him. Someone said I look 4 seconds old. And the last one is, can't do it. As soon as I feel a bump, I squeeze it right away. Can't even go 1 day without popping. It's too difficult for me. And I totally agree with that sentiment, man. Like, I'm not blaming you if you do pop it or anything like that. I know it is really, really difficult. My point is more just to make the point that if you do have the patience and willpower, it can massively help you. And at least just throwing it out there for you as a, as a choice for you to make. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give a big old thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below. Check out Banish Acne Scars if you guys do have acne scars that you want to improve. And remember, I am going to be doing my skincare routine on the next video. I swear into it. Remember, you are not alone, you are beautiful, and you are a part of Team Acne. I'll see you guys in the next video.